Hello and welcome to Chandoo.org. Today I am collaborating with Microsoft to feature this awesome video. In this video we are going to look at 10 incredibly cool things that you can do in Excel. Now normally anytime you see something magical or truly powerful happening in Excel, you would think that there is some sort of a formula or a pivot table engine behind it. Well, in this video, I am going to show you 10 awesome things that you can do without using formulas or even pivot tables. You might be thinking, oh, what can we do if we are not using formulas, not using pivot tables, then our options are very limited. Well, you would be surprised. So the 10 things that I will cover are names from initials, totals for filtered values, comparing two different lists visually and highlighting mismatches, calculating frequency distributions and plotting histograms, calculating running totals, Forex conversion, so one currency to another currency, spotting extreme values, doing business forecasting, creating interactive charts, and finally, if you think, okay, I can't do anything else, then asking Excel to do the analysis work for you. So all of these 10 things require you to just click and point and touch various options within the screen UI, and then you will be able to do that. Okay, let's get into the video where I will walk through these 10 things. Feel free to download the sample workbook to play along or experiment on your own with the dataset and the final examples that I have provided. And once again, a big thanks to Microsoft for featuring this video where I can share these ideas and they can spread it to their community as well. So here is the data for our 10 awesome things that you can do. I will be using this data set for pretty much all the examples except maybe one or two. So what I have here is 5 columns of data, some names, some product groups, age of the person, which date they started selling, and how much sales they have made. This could be literally anything. And let's just get into some of the fun things that you could do without writing a single formula. So the first thing is I want to take the names and I want to extract the initials from them. So for example, for this person it will be BF and that'll be DC, GC, like that. All you have to do is you don't need to figure out the formula logic or anything. You will simply type BF and then DC, and as you could see, as you were typing DC, Excel already suggested, but in case that went off, after typing one or two values, you just press Ctrl E and Excel will figure out the initials for rest of them. Notice that Excel has identified the pattern here as every capital letter in the word that you picked. So here it's Willon O Kilt is WOK. So that's how it is. This is actually called flash fill, and you can use this to do something and Excel will follow the pattern for you. So this is very, very useful, especially if you want to, let's just say, do initials or extract the last name alone. So you would just type NY and then and as you type one letter, Excel has already figured out anything after the first space is what you want, and you see the suggestions, you press enter and that will go through. In case the suggestions do not come out, you just press Ctrl E to trigger the flash fill. You can also see that from here in the button, flash fill. So that's number 1. Number 2 is filter totals. So we have a bunch of values and we would like to for example do some ad hoc analysis on seeing what is the total for tablets or gaming PCs or whatever, but as you filter you would like to see the total. So the first thing that you want to do is take your data and turn that into a table. This can be done by selecting any cell and pressing Ctrl T, and that will make a table in Excel. So once you have a table, you can add this total row thing and it will add a grand total row at the bottom. Right now the grand total is added for the sales alone, but you can add it for any of the columns. For example, you could put average age as well. For some of these things you can't really do anything because there's text value, but others you can put that. So once this is there, one of the tricks normally people don't realize is the total row goes at the bottom, so you have to leave that there, but you can actually cut it, Control X, and put it right on the top. So now you have a grand total row that is on the top, and you can go and apply your filtering. So for example, I'm selecting consoles and home security products, and I will immediately see that the total sales is $6.8 million. I can, for example, have an age condition as well. Anybody between 25 and 40 years old. What is the total sales? That's $5 million. I can, for example, just select the people who joined in 2020, and that's $1.6 million, and we can understand the data. So this is filtering and totaling all the time. We have not written a single formula. Although you might think, how is this working? Well, we have kind of cheated here. We didn't write the formula, but Excel wrote this beautiful subtotal formula that only pays attention to the unfiltered data. So anything you filter out, it will not be there. So you can clear the filters and it will go back to the way this were. Now here is a bonus trick. Let's just say there are multiple filters here, and you want to just undo all of them in one go. One of the shortcuts that I use is Control-Shift-L. This will basically remove the filters, hence takes you back to the original data. To get the filters back on, you just press Control-Shift-L again, and the filter buttons will be enabled. So that's the second thing. Let's go to the third one. You want to compare two lists and see which names have appeared in both lists, or which names have appeared in only one of the lists. I got some names here, so all you have to do is select the first list, hold down your control key and select the second list. So this way you picked both lists. Now from home, conditional formatting, highlight, duplicate values. By default, Excel will highlight all the names that appeared in both lists. So you could see Brian, Gunnar, etc. They have all been in both of the lists. Alternatively, you can select unique, which will highlight the names in each list that are appearing only there and not on the other set of the data. So you can pick whichever, and this can be used to compare lists visually and see which items have repeated. Very useful when you are comparing data. You don't have to figure out the formulas for this. You can just use this method directly. The fourth one is frequency distribution analysis. Again, this is something that many people think you need to write complex formulas or countifs or frequency formulas or whatever. You don't have to do a thing to get the answer. Let's just say I want to see the age distribution of our staff. I pick my age column and then I go to insert and then click on that little histogram button, and I will get a histogram of ages. I can see that we have quite a few people between 19 to 37 years, and then the distribution kind of tapers off immediately. So this is the age distribution. Let's just say I want to see the age distribution by product group. I can select product group and ages, and then I can use the box and whisker plot. This way I can see the ages in each group of each department. For example, we can clearly see that the whiteware department has quite a wide spread of ages. Home security department has narrow spread, but there is an outlier here, someone whose age is beyond even there's a 43-year-old person. So you can see the distributions like this. You can use the same graph and see the sales as well. All you have to do is select the graph. We are looking at ages, so point your mouse on the age column, the blue thing, and then it turns into bold format. Click and you drag it to the sales figures, and you're now looking at sales figures as well. I think I've moved it or something, so that's why it's not properly aligned, but it will come up and you can see the distribution of sales. Again, home security has a very wide spread. Some of them have narrow spread, and everything is between 100,000 and 300,000, except for home security, which has up to 600,000 in sales. So this is frequency analysis, both with the histogram and box and whisker plots. Again, you don't have to do any formulas, any summarization, nothing. You don't even have to set up a pivot table. Everything works just straight out of the box. The fifth one is running totals. Let's just say you got some numbers and you would like to kind of get a running total here. That will be some of this here, some of these two here, some of these three here, like that. All you have to do is just select this data, and then this will appear. If you don't see that, you can press Ctrl Q to trigger the quick analysis thing, and then from here just go to totals, and then pick the running total. You want to use the running total on the column one, not on the row level. And this is the running total. It will add the formula for you, necessary formula. Essentially Excel is going to write that sum if some formula for us. I think I made a wrong selection here. It was actually adding the dates and everything, but you get the picture. So you can I'm just going to undo this, and I'll just select my sales alone and do the running total so we can see that. So we are now looking at the running total of sales. We start off with 256,000, and then it goes all the way up to $22 million here. Okay, so this is a running total. Again, no formula need to be written. Of course, Excel will write the formula for you. The sixth one is quick exchange rate conversion. Let's just say you're looking at dollar sales and you want to see how much this would be in euros for some purpose. You don't really want to you could do like a multiplication of 0.85, but let's just say you're lazy or whatever. So all you have to do is select these values, copy them, and then come here and paste them as values. So we will get the values. Now to convert the 256,000 into euros, $256,000 would be 0.85 times that. So you go to the 0.85, which is the exchange rate, copy the exchange rate, Control C, and select this range of numbers, right click, paste special, and then from paste special, what we want to do is we want to multiply the exchange rate. So you just say paste multiply. So multiply with the 0.85 in the values here, and Excel will do the multiplication. It will give you the answer in euros. This is a one-time thing. So if your number changes, nothing happens to these values. So because it's kind of overwrites the new value there by multiplying with 0.85. I find it useful in some situations where I just want to quickly convert something or whatever. The seventh one is outlier analysis. We got some sales figures here. We just want to quickly eyeball and see which numbers are very high or very low. All you have to do is select all of them, home, conditional formatting, color scale, and pick a color scale where you can see the higher values. Let's just say the focus is on high values, then you want to go from light green to dark green. So the darker green will be higher value. The alternative will focus the darker color on the lower values. So this way you can quickly eyeball this and then spot where the outliers are. So that 698,000 is a big value. This is a big value. Those are $500,000 there. That's a 954,000 is a very big value, and you can quickly spot them. One of the things that I normally do at this point when I do that is I kind of zoom it all the way down so that I can get a spread of the data and see if there is anything that is looking extremely funny. And you can use this for not just positive values. So let's just say you have values that are both positive and negative. You can apply a diverging color scale, like red to yellow. Then negative values could be red and positive values will be extreme green, and you will be able to quickly eyeball and spot those outliers. So that's the seventh one. The eighth one is forecasting. This is for this we are using a different type of data. Let's just say some months and sales figures are available to you, and you would like to forecast what would be the value in the future months if this trend were to follow. You don't need to again write a formula to get this kind of an answer. You just select the data, go to data, and click on forecast sheet. Excel will write the necessary formulas for us. It will show you a preview of how this forecast is going to look like. It will build both formula logic and the output visual as well. So Excel is saying your current sales trend is like this. Given this, I am predicting that your future sales will be like this, with those two boundaries indicating the 95% probability confidence interval. What this means is Excel is 95% sure that the future values would be anywhere between those two lines. Again, this is randomly made up data, so I wouldn't read too much into it, but you can use this to analyze and understand the trend and seasonality of your data and do forecasting. You can adjust the confidence interval. Let's just say you want to be very high confident, you can set it to 99. You want something that is just enough, so 80% confidence interval. And you can even specify the seasonality. Excel will detect automatically, but you can say, okay, wait a sec, our sales follow a 3-month pattern, so you set this to 3, then Excel will say, oh, if this pattern repeats every 3 months, this is how I think future sales is going to be. You have an up and down pattern going on. And once you like all of this, you can go and click on create. This will create a new worksheet with the necessary calculation and output both put together for you, so that you can use them, or you can take that and add it some additional things. So that is forecasting. Again, no formula written, but you can examine that there is actually formulas behind all of this that Excel builds for us, and you can use that to build on top of them. So the 9th one is interactive chart with slicers. Again, this is something for which you don't need to write a formula to create an interactive chart. All you have to do is turn this data into a table. That's the first step. Once you have a table, you can add a slicer on the table. So I will insert a slicer on my product group, and I will put that there. And then I'm taking my sales figures. I will insert a regular column chart. Now this is not going to look very pretty because there's 100 sales figures, but we will just put that there right next to the data. This is not a very appropriate chart, but you understand the technique here. So once these two are there, you can click on these things and the chart will change. Of course, what is happening is the chart is changing, but is also shrinking because Excel is hiding some of the rows. So I'm going to just right click on this, go to format chart area, and quickly set the properties to don't move or size with cells, so that the chart will not move when the additional cells are getting hidden. And now I can click on gaming PCs, home security, phones or tablets, and I can see the sales for those alone. It would help if there is actually names of the people here. We can do that quickly by going to select data and edit this and point to the range of names there, so we can actually see who these people are and understand what's going on there. And you are now looking at individual product group people and their sales as well. So this is a simple interactive chart built with slicer, and it works just beautifully without us writing a single formula or doing anything. It's all just click, point, and done. So that's number 9. What is number 10? Well, let's just say you ran out of ideas and you really want Excel to do the work for you. All you have to do is pick any cell and go to home and click on ideas. Now some of these things that I'm showing, especially ideas, is only available in Excel 365. So if you're not using Excel 365, you're not able to do that. Your best bet is to use Control Q to do the quick analysis and let Excel do some work for you. But otherwise, just select anything and click on ideas. And what Excel does is it will apply some machine learning, artificial intelligence ideas on top of your data to come up with some interesting insights. So for example, it is saying, oh, I think you want to look at sales and age by product group, or it says sales has outliers for these 3 dates joined. So people who have joined on those 3 dates have brought in most sales, or this is how the age frequency is looking. For example, this is saying age and sales appear to have 5 outliers. So if I insert this chart, I'll get a nice little scatter plot that puts age on one side and sales on another side, and then tells me that this is how everybody's looking. But look at these 5 people, they are far apart from the rest, and I think these are interesting. So you could probably understand what's going on, like why someone aged 46 is selling low, and what is going on with these 4 people who are aged all over the place, but they're consistently selling about $600,000. So that's number 10, to use ideas to do the work for you. So that is it for this particular video. 10 awesome things you can do in Excel without formulas. Now, I don't want you to go and walk away thinking, oh, I don't need to learn formulas. Well, all I'm trying to say here is Excel is a truly powerful application, and if you're getting inspired with what I have shown you so far, imagine how much more you can achieve with other tools that are available in Excel, like formulas or pivot tables, and you could go and produce something that is truly remarkable and valuable for your business or yourself. So all the best, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you again in another one. Bye bye.